Please give me 5 minutes of your valuable time, and in return, I will show you some practical things that I do when I compose with a 2 interval and its resolutions. Sounds fair enough? Here we go. Let's actually focus on the 2 a little bit more. And this also connects to one question that one guy already sent in via email. And I'm answering this right now. And he asked, well, what about resolutions of the intervals? What is that and how can we use it? In the overtone series, you see that actually we have the intervals ordered in a way that they move from very strong to very complex. I wouldn't say weak, because they have a lot of tension in them. The higher you go in the overtone series, the more tension you find. You can look at the dominant interval in an overtone series, and that is usually the root tone and scale tone -7. That is what creates, this unstable character that wants to resolve. Now, if you think of the Western culture, what's the easiest way to resolve a dominant 7th chord? Obviously, it's the authentic cadence. That is what you learn in school. So it's the 5 chord going to the 1 chord. Guess what we did right here? That's a 2 interval because I wanted to stick to our M2 matrix, right? We pick a 2 interval and we resolve it in the authentic cadence way. Very simple. You have heard this a million times, I know. And because that is a great movement, let's do it in another spot. Now you might ask, well, Frank, how did you pick these guys down there? Is there any rule? Not a rule, but a guideline. Don't create any 13ths between those parts down there and those parts in the treble clef. Which means we have a connecting interval between this guy and the D. Again, the distance between those 2 guys, you already figured it out. It's the circle of 5th again. Here it comes. And this leads us actually to the structure of a 2 down there plus 5 up there plus another 2. So this whole structure, once combined, is a 2 plus 5 plus 2, which is pretty much this line right here. Right, so that is what the inspiration was. I want to channel or guide your attention to how this sounds when we combine it. Because out of a sudden, out of these very simple building blocks, which is the resolution of a 2 interval, we created something that sounds very sophisticated, almost John Williams-esque, I would say. And I want to play until the end of this line, just to give you the context. You can also, say that this whole structure here is bitonal, and I would not disagree with you. So here I'm back again, by the way. I would not disagree with you. It has some characteristics of bitonality, for sure. But the overall structure still can be put on one set of the overtone series, on one root tone. So it just creates tone richness. And this all comes from the connecting interval being a 5 right here. So I thought, this sounds great, these 2 bars. Let this become my gathering, just these 2 bars. And you know the 3-step process by now. Let's use our gathering and let's put it into a format that we can use as a sketch. And this is exactly what I did right here. So this was the bar as is down there. That is really here a little bit of position change in there. Again, position change, and here is another resolution. The second line is a complete copy-paste of the upper line, but everything is shifted up by 2. And then we will actually also look at a development of these 8 bars. But first, let me play you through the sketch. This sounds pretty decent to me already. And did you actually recognize the continuity of dissonance and consonance in there? The flavor didn't change. Do you know why that is? It's because these 8 bars are all based on the same technique. I'm not changing any technique. Create a main character of the story, which is this 1 bar. That's the main character. And now let this character explore this musical world a little bit. This is actually how I look at composition. It's not like, well, I need a chord progression and then we need a melody on top. Be more visual. This really helps your imagination quite a bit. And this was the starting point for a great sketch. And guess where this thing here came from? It was all the M2 matrix. 2 + 5 and 5 + 2 combined. That was the whole inspiration for this thing. Wait to watch another video, but apply this knowledge and actually turn it into a skill. I challenge you to compose a quick sketch based on a 2-interval and its resolutions. And if you did, please send it to me and let me congratulate you for working on a unique skill that will help you write fresh music based on your unique taste. Hopefully, see you soon in one of the next videos. This was Frank. Bye.